But in essence, right, the subject of the talk is authenticity. Um, that's been on my mind lately, and mainly because uh, Facebook and TikTok, which I love. I love watching reels and TikTok videos, especially on, I don't know, popular spirituality. And so, uh, I've been doing a love practice, which I hope anybody can stay for today after the talk, um, where we feel love and we share it. We embody it, feel it, and then move it, and particularly with stuck places. And I was like, all right, this is it. This is the pinnacle of spirituality. And then I watch a TikTok video where they say, there's something 400 times more powerful than love. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, authenticity. Um, and it sounds legit. They sound like they know what they're talking about. And so I just assume that it's true. And then I do a bunch of things based on that without ever actually researching the truth of it. But anyway, it really caught my attention, and it does sound legit. Um, I believe there are studies, um, that we could research. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, so the love practice that I've been sharing and developing, and I want to write about, I really love. I love that practice, and I'm very excited about it. And because it's powerful, right? It's like, oh, here's a powerful way to make a difference. I mean, you know, in the relative side of things, right? There's opening up to the powerlessness of awakening, to realize that there's no power. And on the other side, it's like, wow, well, what can we put together that is a powerful technique that helps people shift in different ways? And so I am excited about love practice. Um, and this authenticity realization really opened my eyes. And I was like, wow, that is powerful to me because I feel inauthentic so often. And so the idea is if we can set a foundation for authenticity, right, have a strong foundation in that, then any love practice on top of that will be even more authentic and more effective. Uh, and so, yeah, it really got me thinking. I want to practice authenticity, and I want to understand better what it is and where I can make progress in my authenticity. And so, what better to get the truth of authenticity than Chat GPT? Right? It's like that's the, that's about the most authentic wisdom I have found. Right? I can scroll forever and look up different things, and everybody's talking about it in different ways. Chat GPT just like gets right to the heart of what I'm hoping to learn, and it shares it in such an authentic way. Ironic, um, yet powerful and true. Uh, so anyway, I did type into ChatGPT, which I like more and more. I want to use that more and more. I think it's an incredibly powerful tool, um, and it gave me a great list of how to be authentic, what to do. Um, and so that's the introduction to the talk today. It's about authenticity. And so from that standpoint, where are we, right? We're at a Zen center. We're doing Zen Buddhist practice, which I think I believe, and my experience is that this practice is the most authentic spiritual practice. Of course, it's just for me and for us, right? Speaking to the choir. But there's something about this, a lot of, like on ChatGPT, it gives a list of 12 things to do to be authentic. And like half of them are straight out of Zen training handbook, which I love, right? This is an authentic practice, and this practice helps us to become authentic, which is essentially realizing our true self. What is your true self? Who are you, really? And Zen has, I just love it. I love thinking about the history of Zen has been a history of authenticity. It's providing structure and teaching to help every individual to wake up to authenticity. Zen itself is not authenticity, right? There's lots of people who are not authentic doing Zen, and bad teachers that have, hurt students and gotten in trouble doing Zen. But if done with integrity, Zen leads to authenticity. And so Zen is a platform and a structure for authenticity. And I'm excited to be able to talk about it like this now. People are not dumb. It's easy to think, oh, people are so stupid. Look at all the stupid things people are doing everywhere. And yet, right, it's like we're all experimenting with different things and trying new things. And some of those things kill us. But the ones who survive learn from that. And so we have an incredibly sophisticated network as humans to get things right and to detect BS, right? Humans have a great BS detector. The only trouble is when half of us like the BS and we love it and thrive on it. That's not good, but we can sense it. So, people are not dumb. And so over thousands of years of this practice, enlightenment is a refined practice with lots of I don't know if I call it data, but lots of experiences to back that up. And so Zen, I believe in Zen, right? Because as you know me, my personality, I'm always like, oh, what can we do differently? How can we change this? How can we add something? How can we do something different? But I always come back to Zen as the foundation of this authenticity. Which I learned from thousands of ancestors who tried this and it worked for them. Okay, and so to get into the authenticity, so I think on the surface, right, being inauthentic is trying to do things for the wrong reasons, trying to get attention, trying to take power, trying to control, trying to be what we've learned other people want us to be, trying to be perfect, versus I think the heart of authenticity is acceptance. It's accepting that this is me. This is who I am. I'm flawed. I'm embarrassed. I don't feel good. And yet here I am, standing up and facing it. And so that is our practice. And so I think in particular, Zen helps us, three things in particular that Zen helps us with is to drop negative thinking. So part of our practice is to drop thinking, right? Just drop it, let it go. I think that's mostly meant for the negative things, right? Because if we were all positive and feeling good about ourselves, we wouldn't need as much Zen practice. I think a lot of what the dropping is dropping the negativity, dropping the judgment, dropping the separation, the separating thoughts. And of course, right, the other side goes with it. But I think that's the power. The real power is dropping the negativity and the judgment of others and self. Another thing Zen helps us do is to practice radical acceptance. And so, right, I may be thinking negatively about myself. Oh, I'm no good, or I'm I'm insecure, or I'm angry or sad. And so dropping the thoughts is the first kind of tier of working with that. And then what that opens up is accepting that. Oh, I'm not perfect. Oh, I'm flawed. I'm insecure. I'm a mess. And realizing that that's okay, right? That goes hand in hand with the judgment. Realizing that I'm okay just as I am, at my worst, right? We all have things that we hold dearly as the parts of ourselves that are flawed, and we wouldn't want anybody to see us in our worst moments. And so learning to accept that part of ourselves. Yeah, I am a mess, and I'm screwed up, and I have some painful reality. And that's okay. This is who I am. We all have that. We all have a painful reality. And so accepting painful reality is what I'm calling radical acceptance. Accepting us at our worst, the worst thoughts and the worst actions that we have. To be able to not get up and tell everybody about it, right? Authenticity isn't necessarily truth-telling. It's telling just enough to feel connected to the true self. It's acknowledging it internally or externally. Yeah, this is me. I'm screwed up, and I have these issues, and I'm working on them or not. I'm screwed up and I'm not even working on it. That can be authentic. So this radical acceptance of our reality in this moment. And then Zen also, our practice leads to the realization of no self, right? So to be authentic is to realize there's nothing to be authentic about. that there is no authenticity. There's nothing. It's emptiness. So this no self help. I have no flaws, and I have no value. It's just here, now. And so, yeah, so Zen gives us this foundation, right? If we practice enough, we can realize these things. And so, I don't know, there's a koan. Doing koans is one of the things ChatGPT recommended for becoming authentic. I'm not going to read through all the ChatGPT suggestions. I'll probably read through one or two, or three. Actually, I'll read a few now, just before I read the koan. Express yourself honestly. Communicate openly and honestly with others. Number 6. 7 is set boundaries. Establish healthy boundaries in your relationships and personal life. 8, seek authentic connections. Surround yourself with people who accept you for who you are and encourage authenticity. 9 is live in alignment with your passions. Pursue activities, hobbies, and goals that ignite your passion and bring joy. Right? That's just 6 through 9 from ChatGPT. They're all good. They're all very powerful. ChatGPTism. We're going to start. So the first koan, or one, maybe just the first. The meaning of Bodhidharma coming from the West. So this is a classic koan in our Secrets of the Blue Cliff Records book. And let's see, as a student asked a teacher, or was it a teacher asked a student? A monk asked Koren, what is the meaning of the founders coming from the West? Meaning when Bodhidharma traveled from India to China, right? So he had a realization in India. He had awakening in India. And then he took a boat, made an arduous journey to China to spread nothing, to spread the good news that there's nothing to attain. And so this question, what is the meaning of Bodhidharma's coming from the West? And the teacher says, sitting long becomes tiring. And it's a powerful answer because it cuts through all of our intentions and our concepts and ideas and delusions. You know, I mean, I think literally, obviously, Bodhidharma was very excited. Oh, I've had this truth that's no truth, and I want to share it. I want to spread the emptiness, which is exciting. Emptiness is very exciting. And I can imagine him saying this. Why are you making this journey? Why are you taking all this action? Why are you working so hard? You could say, oh, I'm tired today. And so I would say that's the essence of authenticity, is just being honest about what's happening here and now. And it is tiring. Life is tiring. Before or after waking up, life becomes tiring. And working on this is hard work. We do hard work to become authentic. And it's tiring. It can be very inspiring and exciting. And, that's not authentic. It's great. It's the best thing you'll ever experience. If you just do this, you'll be so happy and it'll be amazing. There is a place for that, right? There is a space for that in Zen. It can be very exciting and amazing. But more often than not, the reality is that it's difficult. And to be honest about that is the most authentic thing that we can do. Yeah, it's hard. I'm working through my issues. I'm working through my anger and my pain, my fear, my sadness. It's hard. Um, a couple of more bits of wisdom from ChatGPT and then some from the internet. Authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. So it was hard for me to put my finger on what is inauthentic in my life. And I think this this is one reason I'm talking about it, because it's elusive. It's much easier to see how we are authentic in terms of pointing out examples or feeling good. Oh, I helped others, or I told the truth. Uh, I worked on myself. Right? These are great things. Just because I'm smiling doesn't mean I don't mean it, I'm not dissing them. It's so powerful and great to be authentic and to recognize that. What I'm pointing at is that the other side is difficult. We have blind spots. At least I do. I have the hardest time figuring out where I'm inauthentic. And so I wanted to invite you to think of two things. One is to think of a couple of ways that we're inauthentic, and then the other thing I want to invite us to do is to practice a couple of practices around this. Not right here and now. I'm just offering and putting it out there. Um, I would love to develop some more specific practices around authenticity, similar to the love practice, maybe in conjunction as they can support each other. Um, because yeah, love practice is really one of my priorities right now in life, and I want to be able to do it more authentically. And so I'm going to invite us all now to try to think of at least one way that we're inauthentic in our life. So just spend, 10 or 20 seconds just trying to think of one way that I'm inauthentic. I'm not being authentic. I'm not honoring my true self. I'm not being honest with myself. Okay. And so with that in mind, I'm inviting you now to practice one or more of these steps I'm going to put out there. Okay. One is, so this is kind of ways to practice authenticity. Don't be judgmental. Try not to judge others, right? That's number one. Number two is don't judge yourself. So I'm going to practice not judging others, and I'm going to practice not judging myself. Those are two different things. 3, speak your truth when it's needed. And it doesn't have to be in front of a crowd. It can be privately or to a mentor or a teacher. What is my truth right now that I need to share or that I should share? And so that's it for the short list of practices. Right? Geez, if I could do these 3 things, then I would be happy. But seriously, yeah, so, I'm wrapping up my talk now, and I know you get what I'm trying to say. And so I appreciate your presence and your patience with me. I could go on and on and on about what ChatGPT said. I will leave us with just a couple of more bits of wisdom from ChatGPT. Okay. They say developing authenticity in one's life is a journey that involves self-awareness, introspection, and consistent practice. Some suggestions to cultivate authenticity. 1, know yourself. Spend time reflecting on your values, beliefs, strengths, weaknesses, passions, and desires. 2, be honest with yourself. I wanted to mention also that 12 steps is an incredibly authentic practice and powerful practice of authenticity. And the 12 steps, we lead with our weaknesses, right? We don't get them and go, oh, I'm doing great. I got this. I'm doing this and I'm doing this, right? There's a place for that. But often it's like, I'm a liar, cheat, and a thief, right? That's kind of the opening line for much 12-step talk. And so that's the authenticity, to start with being honest about our weaknesses without holding on to them, right? It's not, I'm a liar, cheat, and a thief, and I'm going to just go on and on about it. It's no, I'm a liar, cheat, and a thief. And so Don't trust anything I say, and with that in mind, this is my truth. Experience it for yourself. Number 3, align your actions with your values. Live in accordance with your values and principles. 4, embrace imperfection. Right? We might make a list of all the ways we're imperfect. And practice going through and practicing acceptance of my difficult realities. And number 5 is practice mindfulness. And so that's what we do here, right? We sit until the mind lets go, right? Our mind has developed a million ways to hold on to whatever it can to feel safe and stable and good. And so we have to sit quietly. We have to be in silence and just sit with it long enough for our mind to let go. And start to drop the facade, drop all the ways we prop ourselves up to feel better, even though we know it's just a facade. It takes many hours of sitting quietly for the mind to let go, to drop the mind, so that our body can start to release our stuck energy and we can start to feel what's underneath the surface. Yeah, and so that you cannot get on ChatGPT. Not yet, at least. Maybe soon with some kind of Neuralink, which I will be the first to sign up for. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate your patience and attention in your practices. I really do. Your practices are so powerful.